কাদিরাবাদ ক্যান্টনমেন্ট স্যাপার কলেজ।
Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope you're fine. First, I shall make a question. Are you following our online class? You know how you have a lot of time. So, it is your responsibility to take part in the online class and be ready to be regular in the classroom activities. Today, as a part of online class, I am going to take a class on first paper, unit number 3, lesson 1. So, dear students, here is the outline of today's class. First, I shall talk about MCQ, that is multiple choice question. Second, question answer. Number 3, flowchart. And number 4, summary. So, there is a passage. And the title or the beginning of the passage is Dreams Have Fascinated. So there is a long passage. Dreams have fascinated philosophers for thousands of years, but only recently have dreams been subjected to empirical research and scientific study. So there's a long passage. So the main objective of the passage is, what is a dream? Why do you dream? What purpose do dreams serve? And there are different theories, particularly the theory of Sigmund Freud, and he has written a book. The famous book is The Interpretation of Dreams. So your responsibility is to go through the passage by yourself. Okay, now I'm going to move the question. First, MCQ, multiple choice question. So you know there will be 4 options in multiple choice questions, but I have just written down here the answer, not the option. So follow me. First, Freud was a famous. So who was Freud? We know he was a researcher. He has written a book named The Interpretation of Dreams. So he was a researcher. Second, dreams serve no real purpose. Who suggests it? So you know, from the passage we come to know that there are different researchers, and some researchers suggest that it serves to no real purpose. When does a man dream a dream? It is very simple that we dream during our sleep. In the passage, the word via refers to via, that means through, T-H-R-O-U-G-S. Who wrote up the book The Interpretation of Dreams? You know, the person is Sigmund Freud. What does the purpose thousands of years mean in the passage? Here thousands of years means for a very long time. For a very long time. What does the phrase come up mean in the passage? Come up with. Come up with means give. What is the meaning of the word contribute? It means add. What does the word disguised? It means must. That means to disguise yourself. What does prominent mean in the passage? Prominent means noticeable. That means something particular. Again, what does the word unravel mean in the passage? Unravel means discover. The word baffling mean in the passage? Confusing. Consensus mean in the passage? Consent. That means agreement, agree. What does the word vague? Vague means something unclear. Wonder, it means ponder. That means to think something deeply. The word empirical, it means very practical. Fascinated means attracted. Fascinated means attracted. Interpretation means explanation. What is the main idea of the passage? To define dream and its purposes. The best synonym of the word repressed is suppressed. What do you mean by dreams? Dreams are a reflection of unconscious desires, thoughts, and emotions. The word perspective means view. The interpretation of dreams is a theoretical book. The closest meaning of the word vivid. Vivid is lively. The word puzzling means in the passage perplexing. Perplexing. How does Freud define dream? It is an outcome of suppressed desire. How is dream metaphorically compared with an electronic device? Metaphoric, that means not very clear, something inner meaning. To tidy up disordered thoughts like the ordered operations of computer. The underlined word of a dreaming state here. State means condition. Dreams serve as psychotherapy because desires and emotions get a link in a congenial environment. Congenial, that means easy or beneficial. Human beings are driven by invasive and passionate emotions. So these are the MCQ or multiple choice questions. So you will learn it by yourself. Okay. And then there is a question answer. First question is, what is dream? What purpose do dreams serve? You know, there are two parts for the first question. So whenever you will write down the answer, you have to follow the question. As there are two parts, you have to write down different answer, but in a single way. So what is dream? Dream is the representation of unconscious images, thoughts, and emotions generated by the brain during sleep. Dream may be sweet and horrible. Dreams serve. No. Second part. What purpose do dreams serve? Dreams serve different purposes. According to some researchers, dreams are meaningless, while others believe that unconscious elements in our brain come into consciousness through dreams. Second question. How does Sigmund Freud interpret dream? We know Sigmund Freud interprets dreams as the representation of unconscious desires, thoughts, and motivations. Freud, in his famous book, The Interpretation of Dreams, wrote that dreams are disguised fulfillments of repressed wishes. Number 3 question. Describe the characteristics of dream in 2 or 3 sentences. You know, there are many characteristics of dream. It can be vivid or very vague. Can you remember what is the meaning vague? Very unclear. It can be filled with joyful emotions or frightening imagery, or unclear and confusing. Number 4. What do you know about prominent dream theories? There are many prominent dream theories. Among them, Sigmund Freud's theory is very important. According to Freud's theory, dreams are a representation of unconscious desires, thoughts, and motivations. So, dear students, number 5. Comment on the contribution of Sigmund Freud in interpreting dreams. Sigmund Freud has noteworthy contribution in interpreting dreams. Being influenced to his theory, many theories have been emerged. His theory plays a vital role to bring many other popular theories. So number 6, what does the expression disguised fulfillments of repressed wishes mean? So you see, the expression disguised fulfillments of repressed wishes refers to the mental picture dreamed in the brain during sleep. The repressed emotions and thoughts in the mind come to conscious wishes via dreams. Number 7. What do you think dreams have fascinated philosophers for thousands of years? Dreams have fascinated philosophers for thousands of years. It is because philosophers always think about dream. They think why people dream during sleep, but they don't get exact answer, and for that reason dreams have fascinated them. Number 8. What do you think? How much science has been successful in interpreting dreams? I think science has not yet been successful. Remember, yet been successful in interpreting dreams. Science is trying to unravel. Can you remember unravel? To discover the exact purpose and function of dreams. Why do we dream? Generally, we dream during our sleep. We also dream when we are awake. We usually desire to have something or do something either in imagination or in real sense. Our suppressed desires and wishes come to light during our sleep through dreams. And this is the last question. Explain the computer metaphor. Remember, computer metaphor of dreams in 2 or 3 sentences. A theory uses a computer metaphor to account for dreams. According to this theory, dreams serve to clean up clutter from the mind, much like cleanup operations in a computer, refreshing the mind to prepare for the next day. So my dear students, so there are the questions. I have written down the answer for your understanding, but my suggestion is you will follow the passage. You will go through the passage again and again. You will understand all the word meaning, and then you will try by yourself to practice that you can write down the answer, because there are many questions. All the questions are not possible to memorize. That's why it is good to have good idea on the passage and then write down the answer in your own language. Okay, it will help you. So now, question number 2. You have to answer flowchart. So what is a flowchart? So there will be given an example based on the question. For example, based on your reading of the passage, you have to read the passage, make short notes in each of the boxes in the flowchart showing different views regarding dreams. So your question is, you have to show different views regarding dreams. One is done for you. So there is a sample. You have to follow the sample and you have to fill up the box according to the sample. You have to follow the structure, you have to follow the number, you have to write down the answer in the box, and you have to make connection. So the first one is given here. What is the first one? A way of expressing repressed instincts. A way of expressing repressed instincts. So this is the first one given. One is done for you. So what is the meaning? A way. It is a way. Dream is a way to express repressed. We have something repressed in our mind that cannot come out. So it is called repressed. Instincts, that means habits. So the second one I have written down for your understanding, a representation of unconscious desires. If see the same structure, a way of expressing a representation of unconscious desires. Third, a subjective interpretation of signals. Again, a way, a representation, a subjective interpretation. Again, a result of interpreting external stimuli, not internal, external stimuli, that means motivation. Number 5, a process of refreshing the mind. And the last one, a form of psychotherapy. So you have to be careful to write down the flowchart. You see, I have given here for your clarification, for your better understanding, a way of expressing, a representation, a subjective, a result of, a process of, a form of psychotherapy. So this is a way to write down the flowchart so that you can get the full marks. And there is the last one, that is a summary. You write down the summary. You have to write down the summary, but you just copy the passage, the first sentence, and then you drop 2 or 3 sentences. After that, again copy the middle sentence, and finally the last one. This is the way, but you have to be careful to write down the summary. You have to have good idea about the passage, and then try to make a sense of the passage in your mind, and then try to write down following very easy language, okay, and in short form. It should not be longer. So I have written down here about the dreams. Dreams have been creating a fascinating environment to philosophers for thousands of years. Now, it is an empirical research. Can you remember empirical? Practical. Now, it is an empirical research and scientific study. During sleep, a man can experience emotions that may be joyful or frightening, confusing or unclear or understandable. But researchers haven't yet understood the purpose clearly, and science is trying to explain dreams. Sigmund Freud suggests that dreams represent our unconscious desires, thoughts, and motivations during sleep. There are some other theories too. One theory suggests that a dreamer can connect between different thoughts and emotions in a safe environment. Another theory says that dreams clean up clutter from our mind. Clutter means very indisciplined thinking from our mind and keep it refreshed. It keeps our brain refreshed. So, dear students, this was all. These are all for today. And what is your responsibility, dear students? Your responsibility is to go through the passage, to hear my lecture again and again, and write down the answer by yourself. Okay, and that's why you have to read. There is no alternative. So, before that, thank you everybody. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.